because it's ridiculous. I wrote, delete all the apps, I'm done. Like, that's it, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. Can't be asked, cannot be asked.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
It's just a reminder to future Hannah or anyone else. If they like you, you won't have to ask them if they like you. You won't be confused if they like you. You won't have to corner them and let them know if they're flirting with you without action. They don't really like you. They just like playing with you.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm probably going to regret this later because I regret posting crying TikToks, but it's just a reminder to future Hannah or anyone else. If they like you, you won't have to ask them if they like you. You won't be confused if they like you. You won't have to corner them and let them know if they're flirting with you without action. They don't really like you. They just like playing with you. And we learned that one today.
So this is one of my personal advice / statement things out there. I think it was Aristotle who came up with it, but don't quote me on that. But it's basically the advice of if he wanted to, he would. Now, it's a piece of advice that carries a lot of like concentrated true statements in it. You know, it's sort of like this maxima that applies to the mentioned advice. So you could also say, if he is dismissive, he is not interested. You know, it's another way of phrasing it, also really good. Or maybe if he views me as a piece of meat, he doesn't view me as serious relationship. Also could be a good one. You know, it's like this really, I don't know, it seems intuitive, but don't get me wrong, gentlemen. This is a really wise and profound statement that could be boiled down with the maxima of if he is bad, he is not good. Now, I know this may be hard to understand at first, but I'm glad that these women are going through 10 years of situationships and broken 2-month relationships and hookups and one-night stands to be able to, after all that pain, you know, to sacrifice that much to get to that piece of evidence that if he wanted to, he would. If he is bad, he is not good. If he's texting me every second Tuesday for a booty call, he doesn't want to wife me up, you know. Really great advice, really great. And thank you for your service, madam. Thank you for coming with that up after 10 years of being used.
Am I the only one who's like slightly suspicious of their husband? And not like, is he being unfaithful? Is he lying to me type of way? But like, who are you really? Because my husband is a really great guy and everyone loves him. But I think that it's a little bit suspicious, and he's got something to hide under his like folding the laundry, organizing the pantry, cleaning my car facade. The other day I bought a massive crystal. It's like a massive 50-pound crystal. I didn't tell my husband I was buying the crystal. I came home and I called him from my car and I said, hey, I have this big crystal in my trunk. I need you to help me get it out because it's really heavy. And he comes out to my car and grabs this massive 50-pound crystal out of the trunk and just casually brings it in as if he's carrying in gallons of milk. No questions. Where did you get this, Katie? Why did you buy a crystal? How much did it cost? He has more questions for me if I don't use our reusable grocery bags when I go to the store. And we are not a family.
So this particular video is not the usual content I cover, but I just saw this and thought it was really funny. And it also explains a little how men and women differ in their thinking. But women basically ask you more than they need to know, or just ask you too many questions or want you to talk about it. Meanwhile, men, if you don't ask us about it, we're not gonna talk about it. If we don't think that something is important, we're not gonna tell you or ask you. You know, it's like you tell me to get the crystal out of the car and I'll do it. I don't need to ask you why and how, you know. And we behave this way because There's this meme going around recently that, you know, it's sort of like men telling their wives a certain story. So, for example, my friend broke up with his 6-year girlfriend, you know, or a 6-year relationship, I mean, of course. Or, you know, did you hear about this friend that got divorced? And then women will ask, like, oh, wow, what happened, you know? Why did that happen? And then men will tell, well, I don't know, I didn't ask. And that apparently bothers women, you know, but it's just the way men behave. I mean, if you don't tell me about it, why will I ask about it, you know? If you wanted to tell me about it, then just tell me. Why do I have to ask you for you to tell me, you know? But it's the way that women behave, and I've made this mistake in the past where a woman will tell you, for example, well, I had a really hard day at work. And you say something like, oh, well, I'm sorry, that's the case. But no, they ask you, they tell you that they've had a hard day in order for you to show attention, you know, like, why, what happened, you know, tell me about it, let's talk for 2 hours, what happened. But, you know, men just don't act that way. So I wanted to include this TikTok. It's quite funny. I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to, you know, this need of women to talk more and ask a lot of questions, and everything has to be explained, and a lot of communication has to go through, even for the most basic things, while men, on the other hand, are, well, if you don't tell me about it, I won't ask.
Family that owns crystals. I am not into crystals. I am not into healing anything really, but I have sort of a habit of falling down rabbit holes and doing really confusing things that I don't explain to him. And this man has yet to crack. So he gets the crystal out of my car and instinctively brings it into our backyard, sets it down on some soil, and says it needs to charge in the sunlight before we bring it in. How did he know that? He knew how to charge a crystal and then walks inside. What?
Hey guys, so I've been MIA lately. Just been really busy with work, but this is going to be another dating rant. I am very curious to see if this is happening to anybody else, but lately I've noticed on the apps, specifically Tinder, I've been approached by 2 or 3 guys a day about cryptocurrency. So, you know, you match with somebody.
All right, so this one is in her 30s, and specifically for cryptocurrency, 2 to 3 guys a day. Now, you may be shocked to find out Tinder is not for, you know, cryptocurrency advertisement. So leaving the 2-3 men that, you know, are just advertising something, leaving them aside, guys, it's like not only those 2-3 approach her for that, but there are dozens of others who approach her. Now, to be fair, like 90% of them just want to hook up, especially on Tinder. It may be just 100% to round it up. But in real life, women just get approached so much. It used to shock me in the past when like a 40, 50-year-old single mother will show up on TikTok and say how there are so many guys wanting to date her, please stop, you know. But it doesn't shock me anymore because I've grown accustomed to just how many options women have. Meanwhile, guys, the average guy gets approached by 2 women in what, 3 months, 4 months, I don't know. But basically, women get approached by the same number in hours. It's not even a day, guys, in hours. So always begs the question, why are they single at 30 if they had so many options throughout their lives?
You start a conversation with them. The conversation might last maybe half a day or a day. And then they slide in a little thing about, you know, do you know what cryptocurrency is? Blah, blah, blah. Do you invest? Blah, blah, blah. And all they want to do is signing up to their little Ponzi frickin' scheme. And when I call them out on it, immediately blocked. It's such a piss off. Like, it really annoys the crap out of me. I've deleted Tinder. But I want to know, is that happening to anybody else? Because it's extremely frustrating. Not like, it's just another level of crap you have to weed through to date people these days. It's ridiculous. But I'm just curious, is this happening to anybody else? Is it just a thing that I'm experiencing? And I don't know. But my thing is, why go through the effort to put a profile on there and actually engage and chat with this a prospect or person, prospect in their case, because apparently, you know, I'm just another person that they can try and rort, I suppose. Why go through all the effort to waste my time and their time for that matter? I don't get it. Like, honestly, is this happening to anybody else? I'd love to know. Because it's ridiculous. I'm just over it.
Women, guys, will just do anything but date people in real life who are good guys. You know, they have all these people around. They have probably neighbors interested in them. They have viable options, I know, in co-workers or friends or, I don't know, some people they know. But they'll just do anything but date the good guys they know in real life. They're willing to go on Tinder and have this advertisement of cryptocurrencies. They're willing to go through 10 years of situationships. They're willing to text the guys who don't reply back and don't remember their names. Just about anything, but do the right thing and meet someone nearby. And now I can already hear some woman, you know, saying, "Oh, Hidan, you just don't understand it. Dating nowadays, it doesn't work that way. It's impossible. I don't have anyone nearby who, you know, is compatible," and all those things. And it just begs the question, how come women for thousands of years have been able to date without Tinder? Can someone explain to me that? How is it that this woman's mother was able to find a person, marry him, had a baby, and probably eventually maybe they're still together? How is it? How do they do it, guys? You know, for thousands of years without internet access, let alone the fact that people in the past didn't travel that much. All right, like the vast majority of the population, they were born in one place and they died in that place. They didn't move around. They had no planes. All right, they had no cars at one point. So it's like, how were they able? You know. And now, guys, that we live in the era, notice the irony. We live in the era where everything is so easy. You can talk with a person on the other end of the world in seconds. You know, you know so many people. You know way more people than people in the past. You have social apps and dating apps and the internet to contact with everybody. People often move from one state to another, different countries, etc. And now is the time where women are not able to date. Like in the past, people will think that you are a wizard. You know, if you will to tell them, did you know that in, 400 years you will be able to talk with someone on the other end of the planet? They'll tell you, bro, what are you talking about? That is dark magic. It's impossible. Like, we have so many options, guys. And this is the irony of today, that beggars become choosers with so many options. So many options. And there was a name for this effect that I forgot, but having more options leads you to having less options. That is the irony. But we see it in full work here.
Delete all the apps. I'm done. Like, that's it. I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. Can't be asked. Cannot be asked. Anyways, hope you all are having an amazing day. Yeah, sun shining for a first time in Perth for a long time. I hope that's the last of the rain that we all see. But anyways, have a good one.
I'm trying to date. Trying.
No, we're not covering this voice filter. We're just not doing it, boys. I've had enough with the SpongeBob filter. This is next level, and there is like an echo chamber of this voice. Extremely terrifying content. So we're not going to cover it. We're going to end on the woman saying that, well, I'm just going to stay single forever because I'll do anything but date good guys that I know in real life. I'll do anything. I'll die alone. I'll turn into a lesbo. I'll date all these chads on these platforms, even though they use me and then leave me. I'll be advertised about cryptocurrency if that is what it takes to have some male attention. Just about anything, but some in real life people that are actually good and could make for a good family. But guys, thank you for watching. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.